Okay, here we go. Monday, 5 December 2022, COVID-19 pandemic chronology video update for the day. Do I have anything pandemic related for you for the day so far? Yes. I'm on day 11 of a 2 to 3 week pandemic weight regulation plan. And I successfully completed yesterday, as I've completed all the 10 days before. So this is 10 days, no failure. So let's see if I can be successful again today. I'm on day 8 of a 14-day minimum on the Tanis diet with PMS modifications. And my comments for yesterday was it was harder and I was hungrier than usual because I didn't start this 14-day streak on the Tanis diet with PMS modifications until last Monday. And so on the Sunday before last Monday, I didn't do my elliptical that I normally do, which my Sunday's elliptical is longer. So it's usually between 60 and 70 minutes, usually closer to 70 minutes than 60 minutes. And normally during the week, my elliptical is 45 to 50 minutes. So it's a longer day, and I do peanut shell pickup / picking up debris in the backyard and stuff. So and I hadn't done that in 2 weeks. So my body was a little bit like, oh my gosh, it's the long day. The long day's back. So it was a more difficult day than a normal day 7 on the Tanis diet with PMS modifications. So, but I'm feeling much better today. So that's. I was like yesterday, I was like, am I actually gonna make 14 days? And then I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh yeah, I did longer elliptical. That's part of what it is. And sure enough, I woke up this morning and was like, wow, that's not lingering whatsoever. So new day. So yeah, I guess, and then a tangent related to that. So I'm menstruating, and I mentioned yesterday that getting attacked can mess with my reproductive system and shut it down. I have had missed periods before and stuff like that. It's not due to low body fat in my experience, that kind of thing. Can cause infertility. That's not uncommon. For some groups of women or types of women, like maybe my type of women, it's more common, that kind of thing. And so it's a kind of a tangent, but not really So when my soulmate is attacked, so when my Kyle is attacked, I can feel that in my body responds to changes in the reproductive system, because if people are everything has, there's a bunch of people in this world that market towards children and is all about pushing children, and it's all about must reproduce. A woman is worthless, a man is worthless if they don't reproduce. And that's United States of America to a T these days. Does not take into account the perspectives like mine or my soulmates who don't want to have kids. But soulmate pairs are joined in when something happens to one soulmate, the other soulmate knows. And so one of those is being attacked and effects on the reproductive system. Another thing is being attacked and then shared memory access. So my Kyle did an interview with Fina in advance of a swimming competition that's coming up. And I know what day and moment the interview began because the interviewer did this really disrespectful thing where they clapped at my Kyle, who's a world record holder, and it was the interviewer's way of saying that Kyle was worthless. And they actually put this on camera. And this is something that Kyle and I discussed as a situation that could be worse than what I experienced when I was called worthless in front of a group at UC Berkeley by my last advisor, kind of on the first meeting. And we actually talked about it. We're one of the way I prevent myself from going into a depression hole is to be identify how something could have gone worse. And Kyle and I talked about it. Kyle's my last soulmate, is the last soulmate I've seen in a waking state. So I sleepwalk and sleep talk. And so I do interact with my husbands in that state. However, memories are very different with sleepwalking and sleep talking versus awake memories. And so the last soulmate I saw of mine when I was awake with my Kyle and interacted with my Kyle. And so one of the things we talked about was what could be worse. And we're well, it could have been a broadcast, right? As an interview, and they actually post this interview online because they want to publish just how worthless world record holders in a sport are. We were talking about his case, let's say he set the world record in the short course 100-meter freestyle, which we predicted correctly, he did. That kind of thing. We even predicted the event correct, like what competition he set it at and the location. That kind of stuff, the pool. And it was, oddly enough, we predicted this treatment too, and technically it's mistreatment, not good treatment, but it's still treatment, just mistreatment. And we were like, okay, what would we do if somebody's clapping at a world record holder and they have like not even any competition experience? It's an attack on the sport because it's saying that a world record holder is worthless. And we're like, well, people clap because they want attention. So what do we do in response to that? Look down. And that's what Kyle did. And so we came up with that solution back in 2019, over 3 years ago. And so what happens when somebody attacks my husband and they hit a shared memory store is the memory of us coming up with the solution, it actually comes up in my mind. So it means Kyle has used it. Right? And so I know the day and time, date and timestamp of the interview and when that was used because he accessed our shared memory and used the solution we came up with. So it's kind of interesting because we're not going to share the date this was filmed, and then people lie about it. I'm like, I know when that interview was conducted, and I know that it was unethical at the time. That kind of thing. And yeah, so that's once in my soulmate pairs, how it works is once we've made sweet, sweet love to each other, my male counterpart can access all of my memories. So it's not like Charles Xavier in the X-Men. No, it's not telepathy. It's accessing my mind, so they can they know what I think, but that's not the same as telepathy because telepathy requires communication. They can just they know kind of thing, and they can access all of my memories whether or not they were there. I give them that access kind of thing. That comes with making making consensual sweet love to somebody, kind of thing. So, and being a soulmate. So if somebody makes sweet love to somebody who's not their soulmate, that doesn't work. Kind of thing. Or if one is raped, like I was, that guy didn't get my memories, that kind of thing. Okay, so that's my long update with a kind of a tangent that's still related because some people were interested in that. And then the next thing is the first time I reached 1 million or more views on any platform. So I have achieved that on Yelp. I have achieved that on Wikipedia. Here on YouTube, I have over 1/3 of a million of views on my channel. And on my Amazon reviews account, I have over 50,000 views. So if I were to cut one of those just because it's not been successful whatsoever, I would cut Amazon reviews. There's been zero good feedback on that in my life. There might have been negative feedback, why are you even writing reviews and stuff like that, but kind of thing, but not yeah. So it's okay, well, I can add that to my if/when I move in with my husband, I figure out how to delete the Facebook account, figure out how to delete the Amazon Incorporated account, and stuff like that. My life would be better without those things. Now I like Yelp, Wikipedia, and YouTube, and I would like to keep those things. So in Yelp, it was the first platform I hit 1 million or more views on. There was a time where I was getting 250,000 views every 90 days, which is really good, especially my all-time high for YouTube is over 1/3 of a million. So I was doing almost comparable in a 90-day period on Yelp. I was putting a bunch, I was writing, that was approximately the end of 2020 to beginning of 2021. In 2021 on Wikipedia, I was writing on pages, and as I was writing on pages, the pages I was writing on got over 1 million views. And that was second half of 2021. So there was this huge blow up. Okay, I now know what it means or feels like to get 1 million views, and I can feel it. And then that happened again on Wikipedia, and it was the same thing. It's oh yeah, I can really feel this. At least with how I'm doing it. Some people might not feel that first 1 million views whatsoever. And so that was the last half of 2021. And so after June 2021 for Wikipedia. And then currently I have over 1/3 of a million views on YouTube. And I would consider that being very successful from my perspective. And then especially with, I have less than 500 subscribers on my channel currently. So today is 5 December 2022. And I have one video that has over 100,000 views, and there are channels on YouTube that have millions of views and like tens of thousands of subscribers and do not have a single video with over 100,000 views. I'm doing really good for myself. Yeah. And why I'm bringing all of this up in reference to the pandemic is these are all platforms that I have pursued wholeheartedly, full time, and like, especially as a joint endeavor during the pandemic. It was my, okay, I need a COVID-19 pandemic work product action plan, and it's worked. I've written, I've published, I've taken pictures, taken videos, and published and published and published and gotten viewed, and I've gotten really great feedback. Yelp, Wikipedia, YouTube, and I think perhaps the biggest thing is Wikipedia. Some of my writing gets changed, but not much. And so like that's, I would say, if there's a platform where I am the most shocked at being like having achieved one of these milestones, currently that's Wikipedia. I'm doing something right and maintaining a neutral and perhaps rather boring approach is the writing stays. So I'm doing something right. Unless it's like a really big name page, and then, you know, people come along and they're like, well, we just don't like this. But so I just don't write on those pages, and the writing stays. So there's a bit of marketing and finding the right pages to contribute to. So if like a paragraph of my text is removed from a page, I might be like, I just won't contribute to that page anymore. And the writing stays. So that kind of thing. And there's time scales for like text being removed, but typically within a year, you can see whether the writing stays or not. And I've been wildly successful, which has been a bit of a shock. And that 100,000 plus view video here on YouTube was a bit of a shock too. And the Yelp thing was like super shock. Oh, and I got into the number 29 most prolific in North America on Yelp for the entire 2020 year. It was number 29 in North America. So that million views, it's the only platform thus far that I've actually reached like a ranked position. They termed it prolific. I have not had a trending video on YouTube. I have not had one of the articles I have created on Wikipedia. I have not had one of those featured as the like top 25 most viewed for a week or something like. I have 0 pages that have achieved that of my own creation. So there's lots of room for improvement. However, my true breakthrough platform in all of my pandemic work in all of these platforms was Yelp. And that's even platforms that I've gotten rid of. So like I deleted Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that. And even on those, I didn't ever reach 1 million views. So it's my breakthrough was, the first was Yelp. So there, happy pandemic update, I hope.